up, Metal Summoners? It is so great to see you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you that are watching us right now. It's going to be a great one. We're going to jump right into it. It's an absolute honor on our behalf. Welcome back to your Island of Misfit Toys. Myself, Angel, and Steve, and we've got the incomparable, the legend, Mr. Chris Slade is joining us right now. First and foremost, Chris, thank you so much for some of your time this morning, this afternoon, and welcome to the Metal Summit. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you. So, tense up, guys. It's live, okay?
Absolutely. No, 100%. And first and foremost, of course, Chris, congratulations are in order for the upcoming July 19th release of TIMESCAPE. Congratulations, sir. It's got to be great, as always, and a wonderful feeling to have new music being released.
Yeah. It's been something I've never tried before. But I've written a lot of it with a lot of help from my band. And, I'm very proud of it, proud of the outcome.
Absolutely, for sure. And it's getting released through Brave Worlds. How did your relationship with Brave Worlds start for the release of the album?
I knew the managing director from years back when we were business partners together. And that's how it came about, I think. I gave him a call and he told me he had a record company. I had no idea that he had a record company. We were involved in a recording studio together at one time. And that's what happened. It's simple as that, really. It's not, what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely. No, for sure. And the album and the info as sent to us is a combination of course, new original music put together by you and your band, as well as like choice covers that, inspired you that you really, really enjoyed. When it came to choosing, songs to put your spin on, how did you make those decisions?
It was pretty easy, really. What was in the can? We've always recorded. We've been together 10, 12 years, timeline now. And in that time, we've always recorded. Didn't know what for, but we were recorded it, even just to listen to it. And the record company wanted AC/DC covers. I particularly didn't, because I know what the response would be, but they were insistent. And we'd done some anyway. So really, what was in the can at the end of the day. And when it came to like releasing it, we had to have something. And this album is, and I wanted a double album because the band is so diverse in its ability to play and what to play, that I want to show the band off.
Sure.
We're not just an AC/DC tribute band. Nobody wears shorts, except in the summer, of course. But, it's just how it came together. And as I say, we meet together 10, 12 years. We've been very successful working in Europe, mainly Europe, Germany, France, even as far as Poland and onwards, over on the east side, if you like. Italy, even, Spain, Portugal. So we've done well. And we've headlined some festivals and we've played some festivals, not being headliners, I mean. And so it's just a culmination of all that, really, of all our talents put down. And some of the guys the whole band is really talented. And I just wanted to show them off.
Absolutely, sir. No, 100%. And we are definitely happy as fans to get to see them being shown off, for sure. Speaking of a gentleman that we love to show off, our beloved Psycho Steve is back on us for this episode. Steve, always a pleasure, my friend. Take it away.
So, Mr. Slade, it's always a pleasure. It's an honor to meet you. I actually got to see you perform with AC/DC here in the States years ago for the Razor's at the Razor's Edge tour. So,
Nice.
which was simply brilliant. So what could we expect from this album besides what I've heard online? Could we expect a full-length tour here in the States?
I'd love to. It's all down to
Okay.
visas and all the rest of it. There's been some terrible cases of people getting a tour together. Then they ask for the visa like 6 months before the tour starts. They get the visa 3 months after the tour is supposed to start. So, there's that being going on. So, and you also need to have somebody ask you to come, even to Poland or to Germany. Somebody has got to say, hey, here's some money, guys. Come and play in my country. And that can be hard sometimes.
Right on. Are you all from England?
Yes,
Awesome.
we most of us live in the same county, which is Kent
Oh,
in
okay.
England.
Yes, I'm familiar with Kent. So my great grandmother is actually from Kent, so that's how I know
Really?
Kent. Really, sir?
Do you know where in Kent?
I could find out, and I can get back to you on that. I have to find out.
Okay. It don't matter. It's a very pretty place, actually.
Beautiful. Cool.
And it's the closest point for us as a kickoff point to get to Europe, because you got to get a ferry from Dover, which is a city in Kent. And it's about 2 hour ferry across the English Channel. And that happened in D-Day the last time. Oh, sorry, I digress. So it's good for us to live that close to Dover. It's very handy. It's also good for airports. We don't often fly. We always drive. I drive myself, and we take turns in driving, because there's some very long drives, like 14 hours. But there's 3 or 4 drivers, and it works out good for us, because I like it the old-fashioned way. With AC/DC, it was luxury planes. Timeline doesn't actually stretch to that. So we do it the old-fashioned way in vans. So, and I like it. I love it, because I love being on the road, which is not a usual thing. Musicians do not like being on the road. Some of them. Some would love it, as I've loved it all my life. And to me, it's part of being a musician. But some people just cannot stand it and hate it, and they want to be in the studio all the time. I've tried the studio. I like it, but it's my favorite place is on the road, playing in front of a crowd.
That's awesome.
As long as the crowd, I suppose two people make a crowd, don't they?
that they do. I mean, hey, the 3 of us will be your crowd. We'd love to watch you play.
Yeah, you're big enough for a crowd. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you are. Well,
Angel,
you can just play. You can just play the CD. It'll be the same experience, You really enjoy it.
absolutely, there, sir. Angel, my friend, take it away.
Man, just been listening to Time Flies, and it's very interesting because it's like nothing you've ever done before in your career. So, how did that song come together?
I just today put out a resume of my thoughts on that. It just came out of nowhere, like all the songs. They just came from nowhere. I had an idea as a sort of repeat echo thing. Oh, I know, I want a repeat echo on the lyrics. And I've got this sort of melody that goes la da da. Oh, right. So la da da, echo, 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 la da da, echo, echo. And that's where it came from. And then the lyrics came together. And then I'd nearly completed the song, as I thought, and I thought it needs a chorus. So I actually then put in Time Flies, the chorus, and completely organically, I thought, where does it go now? Oh, I know, time flies. Oh, that'll do. Right, put that in. And it really did come like that, just completely organic out of somewhere in my brain, I presume. I am a drummer, so I'm not quite sure I've got one, but I presume it's in there somewhere. Might be the size of a pea, who knows? But I can walk and talk, as I'm doing too much now. So, that was the outcome. And as I said before, I'm very pleased with it. Very, very pleased with it.
Awesome. Again, for the sake of time, Jay, I'm going to kick it right back up to you so we can wrap it up so we can keep you on schedule.
Of course. Absolutely. As a final question for you, Chris, when you look at the start of Timeline back in 2012 up to current modern day Timeline with the release of this record, how have you seen the progression of the band?
We've had a few, not many, but a few, 2, I think, or 3 different musicians. And I wanted people who could play AC/DC, because I wanted to do AC/DC, of course. And all the rest of my stuff I've worked on over the years, like Pink Floyd and, Jimmy Page and all that stuff. So I sort of handpicked the guys, actually. I went, I know he's a great guitarist, he's a great bass player. And it just came from there. I knew the guys. We'd been friends at least we'd known each other for a few years before the band was put together. And they were playing in pubs doing covers of things like Kansas, and Genesis. It wasn't the usual run-of-the-mill pub stuff, And so I knew they were really talented as musicians. And so I wanted to work with them. It's probably one of the best bands musically I have ever worked with in my life. And that's a fact. It reminds me of Man's Earth Band in the 70s,
nice.
Which also was a great bunch of musicians. And this harks back to that, in my opinion. And I think the album is very much like an Earth Band album, which I had a great hand in, by the way. We all did. The 4 of us in Earth Band, sometimes 5, had a hand in making it, suggesting, things for production and songs and things like that.
Absolutely.
So it harks back to that.
That's so wonderful. Absolutely. Chris, we really can't thank you enough for taking some time out of your afternoon to hang out with us. And we would love, on behalf of the show, to keep in touch with your management company, your PR, to have you back on for more of a longer, sit down, and have a little fun and tell some stories, when the proper time allows for that. Because the thing that's the most important to myself, Angel, and Steve is that you enjoyed your time on the show. You felt respected. You liked the questions, and that you felt that this could, in any way, shape, or form, benefit your band moving forward.
Yeah, it's been great, guys. Really, seriously. I've had some humdingers, shall I say, of interviews, and this is really nice and homely, shall I say, feeling.
Awesome. Well,
thanks for that.
Of course, it's absolutely our pleasure. Metal Summoners, thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out as we got to talk with Chris Slade. We're going to send him on his way to knock out the rest of his interviews as he continues to promote TIMESCAPE. So please go out and check out that record. You can follow Angel at Angel Alamo 78 on Instagram, as well as finding him on Facebook. Psycho Steve can be found at The Real Psycho Steve on Instagram. You can also find him on Facebook as well as PsychoStevePresents.com. There's the album cover right there for TIMESCAPE. Thank you, Angel. You can find me on Instagram at Salem.Vampire. You can also find me on Facebook at Salem Vampire as well. And again, on behalf of Chris Slade, please make sure that you're checking out everything moving forward for TIMESCAPE with the July 19th release that's coming up in about a month and a week. On behalf of the Metal Summit, we thank Chris Slade very much for his time. And Metal Summoners, thank you guys so much. We love you. Have a great rest of your week. Guest announcements for next week's episode will come out over the weekend. And you guys take care and have an absolute great day. Take care, be good to each other, and keep listening to music. As always,
Thank
you guys
you.
have been watching the Metal Summit.
Thanks. Can I also mention chrisslade.com? You mentioned
Absolutely.
Brave Words, and
Oh,
it's
of
also
course.
on chrisslade.com.
Absolutely. ChrisSlade.com. There you go, Metal Summoners. You heard it right up. Thank you again, Chris. You have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Cheers.